Futures Rewritten. Alpha knows faces a picture, equal parts jubilation and relief. We're finally on the final quest, the 5.4, with 30 minutes to spare.
Right. Let's return to the Rising Stones.
Admiral, something strange is afoot at the floating city.
Breathe, man. What is it?
I think it's best you see for yourself. Please, come with me.
What in the world is that?
There it is. Something I was hoping we'd get to before, maintenance.
A tower?
You can see it too, then? I feared I was losing my wits. One moment I was patrolling as usual, and the next it was just there.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun. Dun.
Yes? This is she. I am. I'm looking at it. What? Understood. Send the Elder Seedseer my regards. The communications officer. It seems this isn't the only tower. They've sprung up all across Eorzea.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Nothing more is known. Only that they appear to be of Garlean construction. Our allies on the Alamegan front are on highest alert. Forgive my directness, but would you join them? They may well need the help.
Of course, Admiral. We shall make all haste.
My thanks. I will return to Limsa to weigh our response. Look for Commander Hext when you arrive in Alamigo, and may the Navigator speed you on your way.
Ba-da-dee-da-da-ro. It'd be awesome if that was the end of the quest, but unfortunately it won't be. So I have to do one set of cutscenes for another set of cutscenes. Oh good, I didn't have to go far. For a second I thought she was like behind a wall.
Thank you for coming so soon. I'll send for Commander Aldin at once, and we can decide what to do about these infernal towers.
Rocket Preserve!
He changed his robe.
It can't be.
The palace! After them!
You're here. Good.
Does that be Rob Bond's voice? It did not sound right.
Well, well, well! To be received by such an illustrious cast! Why, even the hero of the piece is here! I feel quite starstruck.
Is that Asahi?
His body, more like. You don't fool us.
Oh! You saw straight through it! Anyone would think you dealt with Asians before. Permit me to introduce myself. I am Fandango, and may I say what a pleasure it is to finally make your acquaintance.
The towers, what are they for?
My, straight to business is it? Suit yourself. It is my intention to recreate the final days. To which end I have distributed a collection of rather ingenious devices, or towers, which will, in time, give rise to the grandest of spectacles.
The final days? But it was the Asians who labored to prevent them.
You're quite right, though I would expect no less from one responsible for eliminating my unsundered colleagues. Honestly, the three of them were obsessed with restoring the one true world. As a sovereign individual, however, I never had much interest in such things. I mean, why bother when you're just another sundered minion? Admittedly, Elidibus was not convinced by that argument, but thanks to you, I'm finally free of his incessant nagging. Free to use my powers as I see fit, to fulfill my heart's desire. And my heart's desire is to lay this half-broken world to waste, leaving nary a fleck of dust behind!
What? Why would you want such a thing?
Because I want wretched creatures who ask such meaningless questions to die! You! And you! And you! I want you all to die! And I want to die too! Oh, yes! I want to die and take everyone with me in a paroxysm of pain and suffering! I'm different, you see, from the ancients who clung to dear life, and from you. So don't bother trying to reason with me. You will find I have no reason, or creed, or any such tripe. I just want to destroy the world. But please do resist with all your might. It will add to my enjoyment. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes peeled, for the curtains have risen on the spectacle to end all spectacles. We, the Telophoroi, shall be your performers, and this very star our stage.
Telophoroi.
But I nearly forgot. I have a message for you. My esteemed patron, Lord Xenos, eagerly awaits you at the heart of the chaos. While I wish only to destroy the world, he exists solely to relive a certain, transcendent moment with you. And it is for that reason he would reduce all to ash. Pray see to it his dreams do not go unfulfilled. For if you should disappoint, my trusty companion here, whom I've dubbed Lunar Bahamut, will burn your cities and everyone in them.
Everyone out! My men will tend to the blaze.
Freaking Van Daniel, always causing a ruckus. No, not Alizé. Shush. No. Okay, Lunar Bahamut. Cool. Okay. Thank goodness everyone's safe. We've managed to put out the fire, though not quickly enough to save the garden. Rabana, can I leave it to you to send word to the Alliance? I'm going to take a unit and investigate the tower. We need to find out what it's for. We'll go with you. No, you won't. You'll rest. From what Myrtlewib tells me, you're due for some off-duty. Should we learn anything about the tower, we'll be sure to share it with you. Until then, I want you to rest. Rest, rest, rest. Very well, but if you need our help, don't hesitate, and take care, both of you. Rest, 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 rest. Rest, 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 rest. Hey, look, I'm on Porksy. I'm on the Porksy, yo. I'm on the mother effing Porksy, yo. Ah, you're back too. Good. We received the reports from the Alliance. Since we are all here, perhaps those who bore witness to the events in Alamigo could treat the rest of us to a first-hand account. No sooner do we overcome one problem than another appears. It would all seem tediously predictable, but for the endless variety of our foes, this Van Daniel sounds even more unhinged than his patron. Unhinged, perhaps, but no fool. For all his pantomime and theatrics, he gave away little about his plot. We only know that he intends to recreate the final days, and that the towers will somehow facilitate this. He also called his dragon Lunar Bahamut. Let's not forget about that little detail. And the creature certainly did resemble the elder primal. That may be, but the fact that it answered to Van Daniel would suggest they are not one and the same entity. I think it more probable that it is some manner of simulacrum born of Asian magics. Whatever it is, for now we can but work closely with the Alliance and remain vigilant. I believe that concludes our business, our news. What of yours, Yustola? Our news. I've been to see the Sultana, knowing how quick the immortal flames are to dispose of their tempered. I just did best to provide them with the cure first. As soon as I had sufficiently recovered, I traveled to Ul'dah and delivered the Porxies to her grace, along with the detailed instructions of their use. Yet my visit chanced to coincide with the arrival of some troubling tidings. The Immortal Flames had been on the cusp of agreeing to a truce with Almalja when negotiations abruptly collapsed. The Almalja claimed that a number of their kind have been abducted, and that men are responsible. Not as known of the perpetrators as yet, but as the Immortal Flames went about investigating the abductions, they came upon one of Van Daniel's towers. On the subject of the towers, you may be interested to learn that they are not an exclusively Eorzean phenomenon. According to the Alliance, they have been sighted as far as Yangsha. Then it would seem unreasonable to assume that they are everywhere. We simply have not found them. Well, as you said yourself, We can do little for now save remain vigilant. And since we are dealing with a dragon, ostensibly, at least, I believe it would behoove us to enlist the aid of an authority on such foes. Estinian! Estinian? Now just a moment, if we could be persuaded to lend us his lands, I would be the first to welcome it, but the truth is, we still struggle to even find him. You let me and Carl worry about that. We'll sniff him out, no matter where he's hiding. If he indeed is hiding, we have ways of locating him, regardless, so if there are no objections, we shall depart at once. Well, rather than sitting around, I think I might go to each of the city-states and educate them in the use of Porxies. I think I might go to each of the city-states. They would doubtless appreciate it, but might you consider taking a moment to rest before leaving? You would be fresher for the task ahead. Well, my friend, our moment of triumph did not last long. 'Twas ever the day, the world often needs saving. Oh dear, you're not enjoying our adventure? And I really could have done with the rest. You and me both, man. Then why not have one now? If anything happens, I promise I will come and wake you. As much as I enjoy our adventures together, I am conscious of the toll they take. So let us gather our strength while we can, and then we might rise to the challenges of the unwritten future. Future's rewritten. Meanwhile, somewhere in the locks. Oh, I remember this.
The scouts should have been back by now. I'm gonna go and find them.
You knew that.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Come on, Lise. You're a little smart on that. You can tell something's wrong with him.
Glory be. Glory be to Garlemald!
Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace,
The piles have been driven as planned, and the first of the beasts has roared to life. Moreover, I am pleased to report that preparations are well underway for the rest. Ere long, chaos shall reign over all the land, as befits the final days.
Call it what you will, so long as my friend returns to me, fangs bared and claws sharpened. I care not.
Of course, my lord. By strange coincidence, your dear friend chanced to be present when I made my declaration. I took the liberty of informing him that you await his coming, though I confess I may have singed him a little in the process.
And why do you tell me this? Are you in such a hurry to die?
Ah, my apologies. I must guard my tongue lest it be the end of me. Though, There is something to be said for such a glorious death. Better to fall to one who has it all than falter before an inferior. I shall keep it in mind as a contingency. For now, however, I shall proceed with the plan. My lord.
I must find myself a new weapon. One worthy of our long-awaited reunion.
He is no longer a samurai. He ditched the jobstone. Alright, we're actually, with only 10 minutes left, accordingly. Actually... yeah, 10 minutes. I'm not seeing any messages on in-game though, which is weird. But yeah, let's continue. Onto the breach. Alice is waiting patiently for the return of a certain scions, not at least all you. Five quests, but I ain't gonna make it. Good news, Firemac, Thancred, and Uran have finished their tour of Garlemald, and are on their way back here even as we speak. As we still haven't heard anything on the towers from the Alliance, I'm hoping they might be able to shed some light on things. They're due to arrive any moment now, so let's see what they have to say, eh? Also, if this episode ends abruptly, well actually, it won't end abruptly for the channel, like, I'll still be here, but you might get a cut in the actual gameplay. We'll just have to figure out how we're going to continue it in the next episode. Welcome party. You needn't have gone to the trouble. From what I hear, you've been more than busy enough as it is. Honestly, you might have waited for me to return before discovering a cure for tempering. As it is, I can't even pretend to have been involved. Well, if there's any consolation, I myself have little more than... I myself was little more than expected. The lion's share of the credit must go to Alize, Graha, and Firemac. But I believe I speak for the rest of us when I say we are proud to have rendered that what little assistance we could. As you will also have heard, though, it hasn't all been tales of triumph. Just as we were taking the steps toward finally addressing the primal threat, a pile of fresh problems landed in our lap. And it's good to have you back, though I can't help noticing that we're one Urange short of a scouting party. You haven't lost him, have you? Oh, I couldn't lose him if I've tried. And I did try, repeatedly. But no, he decided to linger in Alamigo to reprise Rauban and the others how the land lies in Garlemald. Then mayhap you would do the same for us. Indeed, as it was just as Lee said, worse, in fact, devastation as far as the eye could see. Nerva and the Third, however, were notable by their absence. Might they have met their end at the hands of Xenos and Fandaniel? Perhaps, or perhaps they simply lost the will to fight. You see, the capital has been plunged into a deathly silence, with one exception, the Imperial Palace. It was a busy place before the war, but it has grown busier still, with throngs of soldiers and civilians working there day and night to rebuild, or rather, transform it. Transform it? Into what? That is a difficult question to answer. The construction is vast and unsettling to behold, like something from a nightmare. According to Urange, certain aspects of its design were clearly devised with the manipulation of ether in mind. Magitic, in other words. Yet, as unnerving as said edifice was, it was nothing next to the sight of its builders. They swarmed the place like so many insects, working with nary a word exchanged between them. No one overseeing construction, no one barking orders. It was as if they were possessed or tempered. We wanted to investigate more closely, but given our suspicions, it seemed wiser not to take the risk. If Fandango could bind Bahamut to his will, might he have done the same to the people of Garlemald? Whatever the truth may be, this information is certain to prove valuable. You have our thanks. Well, be sure to save some for Uranger. Which reminds me, I have a message from Alamigo. Rabon is hosting a meeting to discuss the latest findings on the towers, and he requested our presence. Then why not leave it that to us? You must be wary from your mission. No, I'm fine. Those towers have been on my mind since I first spied one on the way back, and I'm keen to get to the bottom of this. In that case, I shall stay and begin looking into another matter, as I promised Krell. We need not all attend. Very well, I suggest the rest of us make our way to Alamigo forthwith. The sooner we leave, the more time we will have to speak with Uranger before the meeting. Para-ti-ta-ta-ro. Well, we made some progress in this quest. That's nice. But I'm afraid that's all we're gonna get. Oh yeah, there it is. I just saw the message. We will soon be starting maintenance on all worlds. Please log out as soon as possible. How unfortunate. Well, we did our best, everyone. We actually did very well, all things considering. One patch left. If only I had time. If only I didn't go to sleep earlier. And if I stayed up all day, I probably would have done this. My friends, much and more have I heard of your travails in our absence. Heartened am I to see you all hale and whole. As are we to see you safely returned from your mission. Uranger, I trust Thancred made you feel welcome? Well, if it isn't Alphino and his merry band. It's Arvold. Arvold, what are you doing here? When we spoke via Link Pearl, you told me you'd be away on the mission. And who's to say it isn't part of it? But enough about that. It's good to see you looking so similar. Thought you had grown a bit taller after a whole year in another world, but apparently not. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. While my soul may be a year older, my body is hardly aged, as you are well aware. I may have to remind you that we Elzen are known to be late bloomers, especially in terms of our height. Mark my words, the day will come when even the great Aurochs such as yourself will crane your neck to meet my eye. It was not until the 12th summer that I myself outgrew my boyish proportions. 20th, sorry. Through, though Moonbrita towered over me nonetheless. Arvold brings out the best in Alphino, doesn't he? They both seem so at ease at each other's company. It's almost endearing. So when exactly brings you here? Oh, for Dola mostly. We need to go over a few things before we set out. Set out? Wait, does this have something to do with the towers? Eh? What gave you that impression? Actually, tell me later. You've got a meeting to go to. I'll see you afterwards, alright? If Ordella is going with them, that must mean... My apologies. As Arnold rightly pointed out, we have a meeting to attend. Let us be about it. Meeting time. I don't think we're going to get through this cutscene. There's 2 minutes left.
Ere we begin, I would like to offer my gratitude to Masters Thancred and Uranger. There's no small feat to infiltrate the Imperial capital and live to tell the tale, much less in times of civil war. Thanks to them, we may plot our course in full knowledge of how the winds blow in Garlemald.
Full glad are we to have been of service. But verily, such dangers as we did encounter pale into insignificance next to those faced by our comrades. An Ascian, armed with the might of Bahamut, bent on bringing about the final days.
Theatrix. He sought only to make a show of the power at the Teleforoi's disposal. But since then we have seen no sign of this Fandaniel or his worm. And while we've done what we can to bolster our defenses, there's no telling where he might strike next.
Whenever and wherever it may be, we must use the intervening time to learn more of our enemy. 'Twas with this in mind that we dispatched scouts to investigate the towers.
Our advance party took longer than expected to return. And when they did, they tried to kill us. Luckily, I'd seen that sort of thing before, and we were able to restrain them before they did any harm. Then it was just a matter of letting the Porksies do their work.
Are you saying they were tempered?
Once they'd come back to their senses, they told us everything they could. It seems that just as they were getting close to the tower, they heard an ear-splitting roar. And that was the last thing they remembered. But what worries me most
0
is
minutes.
what they were saying right before they attacked. Glory be to Garlemald.
The Tempered have heretofore ever been thralls to primal entities. Yet these hapless souls were compelled to accept a nation as the object of their devotion. This calleth into question all that we know of the condition.
Would that the unsettling news ended there.
There it is, everybody. Maintenance has struck. End of my run. We reached 5.5, everybody. Happy maintenance, everyone. I tried and I tried. So, like I said before, next time, I might just start the whole quest over. Honestly, I might not even include this whole end part. No, I have to, because then I have to restart the whole thing, and I'm not gonna do that. So, yeah. Join me next time as we will continue this. Well, I don't want to say goodbye, because at least not on the YouTube part, because this might actually get appended onto the next thing. I'll figure it out. Anywho, thanks everyone for watching. Catch you later. Doodles.